Dear Force Spirit thingy that floats around in the translucent universe, my co-host tonight is not here in body, so I pray to the Force that you send me someone, a Force ghost of an ancient, powerful Jedi, to do the show with me today, because I am all alone, and I need help. Please.
Brian.
Ha!
My son.
Yes!
Chosen one. Leader of all the Jedi.
Yes, I am the leader of all the Jedi. You are correct.
I send you only the best.
Who?
Jar Jar Binks.
God damn it! Not what I asked for. Fuck. Alright, well, you know what? We'll get back to that in a second.
This is all we had.
We'll get back to the second. Welcome, everybody, to episode 102. 102. I can almost count that high. To the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created into bringing me and floating Force Ghost voice to tell you all about the weekly nerd and geek news that was this week and maybe even last week or maybe even a little bit tomorrow. I don't know. We could be broadcasting from the future because, as you know, Force Ghosts can tell the future. Everybody knows that. I am, as always, Brian West, the hostess with the mostest, and you will see that there is nobody here with me tonight on your screen. But
Not
Force
purposely.
has seen it fit to send me a very special Jedi. I'm not sure who it is yet, so I'll let him introduce himself. Who's here tonight?
It is me, Ryan Thomason. And I'm not actually a Jedi, Brian.
It's bullshit.
I keep telling you that just because you can't see my video and all you can have is my audio, that does not make me a Force Ghost.
Listen, I paid someone $7 to have you killed, so...
Oh, that's what that was?
Yes, so you're telling me that they did not kill you, that you are not a Force Ghost.
Yeah, I remember this guy, coming up and, all that matters is that, I think you should get your $7 back. I mean...
Alright, well, I guess,
good.
Sorry everybody, it was as much of a surprise to me as it was to you. I have no one on my screen. I was told from our PR guy that I was going to have a special guest tonight that could not use the video because they have a really old computer from 1947. Their webcam kind of sucks, so...
I would like to dispute both of those things.
And they have a Wi-Fi box that has a hamster that spins, and that's how much strength they get in the signal. So I was told that was just going to have a voice, and it would be a surprise. Unfortunately, it's just Ryan.
Yes, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'll only stay on the show for 5 more minutes if that just makes it easier for you. And then you can just do the Brian show from now on, because I know that's exactly what you want to do anyways. So.
No. Of course not. I can never do the show without you, Ryan.
But
Wait a minute. Can you see me?
I can see you. You're a little pixelated, but that's just how you always look. So
it's because my beautiful looks can't be captured in pixels.
it has to be in real life, huh?
Yeah, enough of that. We joke, we kid. Ryan was having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, and after about a half hour trying to make him work, we just said the hell with it. We just came off a break, and we are not going to take another week off. So you got my beautiful face tonight, but Ryan is going to be with us in not only spirit, but also in voice. So he is here to answer all your questions, and mostly just mine. The sad part is I know it's really late over there, and I don't know if Ryan's going to fall asleep. So I won't even be able to tell if he's sleeping.
I will keep saying things at random intervals. Just so you know that I'm not sleeping.
It is moments like this that I wish I had a remote taser so I could just from across.
No, you were the last person I would give a remote taser.
That would be amazing. It'd be the best.
I'd be just pooping, just getting tased. That's exactly how it would work.
It'd be great. I would just tase you. I'd be like, Ryan, are you sleeping? You'd be like, no, I'm not.
I got it all out really fast.
It'd be awesome. What, you got it out really fast?
Right.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So, I think we should just run right into this thing.
You want to run right into it? All right. We can start. I know it's late over there, and I kind of actually liked having the shorter schedule last week. It was fun. All right. Well, Ninja News. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
My mother-in-law's here.
Ooh, fun.
And, so let's move on. Let's get this going.
All right. Well, before we start Ninja News, as always, Ryan has worked tirelessly, I think that's how you say that word, to bring us sponsorship for the show. One day someone's going to pay us, but right now we're doing a lot of pro bono work, a lot of charity stuff. And this week we actually had a charity that I feel is very relevant to the times, and I'm really excited about this.
You know, I was actually really surprised when they gave you a phone call this time. Usually they always contact me, you know, so I'm the PR guy, but you know, they must have heard one of your rants, or maybe they felt that you'd been slighted, and that maybe that you know you needed to seek some professional help through them.
Probably true.
You know, because they did send some pamphlets for like what's it called? When you have an intervention.
An intervention?
They sent one, yeah, just in case like we need to do one for you, like with your family and stuff. So
I never need an intervention unless someone requires an intervention for awesome, and then I need at least two. But I digress. Ryan, I think they called me personally because they know what a kindred spirit I am to this organization. It represents a lot of people that I have a lot of love for. So before we dive into the organization, I'd like to say it's basically the name of the organization is they are the Hollywood Wayward Shelter for recovering directors and actors that have been ravaged by critics. It's a big title, quite a mouthful. You can shorten that down to fuckbycritics.com. Pretty simple website.
Yes, and this is for essentially, you know, basically they kind of put them in a little home, you know, they give them a nice little room, and they get lots of they get encouragement therapy, and
they make them read
pats on the back.
They make them read nothing but screenplays from Aaron Sorkin. Yeah. They do things like make them watch To Kill a Mockingbird over and over again.
Do you remember that South Park episode where Cartman and everyone started to get like their Twitter accounts filtered and stuff like that, so they could only see the nice stuff? They kind of do things like that.
Yeah, well, and if you don't know what we're talking about, I mean, this is for a place for right now. Some big heavy hitters are in there. Mark Wahlberg and Michael Bay are in there for the ravaging, the simple just blood shedding of the Transformers: The Last Night reviews. Tom Cruise is in there for his recently obliterated Mummy movie. The critics were not so kind, and as a result, their box office flopped horribly. Yeah. I don't know. There's plenty of other gems. We've covered many of them on Craptastic. I believe Will Smith is still in there from his run-in as Deadshot and Suicide Squad. That one's going to leave a sting. And in fact, I actually think the director of that was placed in critic jail. I think he's still waiting to get out.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Cruise had to go for a couple of days, and he just literally just sat on the edge of his bed, just, sobbing, asking, why I can't just remember how good Edge of Tomorrow was.
Yeah, but it's rare. Everyone should remember how good Edge of Tomorrow was, because it's fucking amazing. But Tom Cruise is going to have a very short stay there. He's got Top Gun 2 in the works. He's got Edge of Tomorrow 2 in the works. He's got Mission Impossible 37 in the works. And it's ran by a Scientologist, so, I mean, he's going to be out. He's going to be fine. Tom Cruise is going to be fine. Yeah. Michael Bay, also probably going to be fine. A little more worried about Will Smith. Some people like that. Suicide Squad was his comeback, and the critics just bent him over and just there.
Yeah, I haven't watched his new Netflix show yet, nor have I really heard anything about it. So
it's a movie, and it's coming out in November, and Netflix paid $100 million for it. So I think he'll be all right as far as finances. But anyway, we just wanted to say that we care a lot about these guys and gals. They're good people, and occasionally critics are just fuckers. And we don't feel that anyone should have to sit in critic jail because critics like the smell of their own butts.
Yes, and so if you want to contribute, I think they have a GoFundMe account. 'Cause that's pretty much like the account for anyone that has some kind of medical stuff that they're trying to get taken care of. So there's a GoFundMe account for what was the name? It was a long one.
It's a really long name. It's
fuckthecritics.com or something.
Hollywood, it's Hollywood recovering actors and directors fucked by critics, or you can just go fuckbycritics.com. But do not put in any X's in that, because that will send you to a completely different website, and you do not want to go to that website.
Yeah.
I mean, at
least not without the privacy window open on your phone.
So yeah, so you can go there, donate, or if you want to, just go watch The Mummy or Age of Extinction. That was the last one. Age of the Last Night in Cybertron. Go see that one.
Yeah,
This not guaranteed to not be lasttransformersmovie.com.
Yeah, because it could have made $1 billion overseas.
Yeah. Anyway, they like cars and giant robots over there. Apparently, I plan on going to see it. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna do my part. Donate some cash. Also, too, if you guys would like to see, buy one of these Wonder Woman mugs. Look at that. I'm supporting my wife and my daughters and my love of this movie by drinking out of this giant Wonder Woman cup.
I think Wonder Woman would be very happy that you'd be sipping out of her.
I hope so, because Gail got it. She got it. I'll tell you that.
She got it?
You know what she got? She got
what?
$600 million worldwide already. Is what she got.
3 weeks?
3 weeks.
3
She's
weeks.
She's already topped Superman's domestic run, and she's looking to add to that.
Wait, his whole domestic run?
Yeah, Man of Steel. I believe, is it Man of Steel? Yeah, I think so. I think it's Man of Steel. I don't know. If she hasn't, she's real close. But I read today that she has taken Man of Steel's spot in the domestic. Or maybe, I said Superman, so maybe that's a play. Maybe it's like one of the old Supermans or something. Probably not. It's got to be Man of Steel.
I don't know. I would probably say it's a new one.
You know what? Whatever. It's made a lot of money, and it's going to make a lot more. My guess is probably going to do somewhere around $800, $900 million worldwide by the end of its run.
I bet it'll be $1 billion.
I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion just because, I mean, it could. I think it was like $30 or $40 million in its third weekend, which is, I mean, that's holding strong. If it continues those kind of numbers. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't want to see the new Transformers movie, so it's a good chance that Wonder Woman's going to do good. And, you know, if that movie can pull another $30 million this weekend, it does have a chance at $1 billion.
I bet it's going to be the movie that stays in theaters a lot longer because it's going to have that longevity.
It could. I know I want to go see it again. I just haven't had a chance to go see it, but it's on my list of things I got to do immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's see here. What else we got? Let's see what else we got for you guys. Justice League has a new trailer out. Since we're talking Wonder Woman, she will be in that. Apparently, one little bit of news dropped is that a lot of these reshoots are not to add more Wonder Woman. Some people had kind of thought maybe that would be what it was because she's so popular right now. That is not the case. They just want to shoot a lot of stuff. I mean, I've heard, honestly, I've actually heard that there's enough footage to make 2 movies.
I would watch it.
You know, if they release the Super Ultimate Justice League Edition that has 3 movies on it, I'll watch all 3. Give me the Joss Whedon version, the DC version, and the Zack Snyder version, and I'll watch all of them.
I'll just latch on to all that stuff.
I don't care. I know a lot of people, this scares a lot of people, and especially since Justice League is going into huge reshoots with Joss Whedon right now. I'm not worried. Warner Brothers they have to make this movie work. And if that means they have to shoot 5 movies worth of footage to get the right movie, that's what they're going to do. And I think there's enough good people on this and enough good actors and enough love of some of the characters. I mean, say what you want to about BVS. Ben Affleck was great. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. Wonder Woman is amazing. And Jason Momoa looks really great as Aquaman. Cyborg and Flash, haven't seen much from them, but I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I don't have any. That's what I'm looking for. I'm excited for it. I mean, it's going to be entertaining. I am not watching any more trailers.
Yep, new trailer is about to drop. I think in July during some con that's coming up. Maybe it's San Diego. I don't know.
And even though they've had to do the director switcheroo, because Joss Whedon, I almost said Ron Howard. That's a later story. Trying to lead into the next one. The other ginger. It's
Joss Whedon.
Yeah, Joss Whedon. He's a good, solid director, and I'm not really too concerned about all these reshoots. I mean, you don't gotta worry about it. A movie this size is gonna have a lot of reshoots, and like I said, they want to get this right. So I'm not too worried. New trailer's coming out soon. We're not gonna watch it. Me and Ryan have officially taken our 50 member Jeff's stand, and one trailer, and we're done. I'm out. So let's kind of going on what I was just talking about.
Hang on, I got more DC news. Why are you jumping the shark?
Jesus Christ, whatever.
Man of Steel 2, apparently, rumor has it. The Supergirl is going to be brought in. And the reason why this is important is because one of our Faithful 50 members asked a question about who should play Supergirl, Ryan. I'm trying to build this up for later. Just tearing me down.
You don't need to get upset at me, Brian.
I can do whatever I want to. You're not the boss of me.
I'm the boss of me, and you are not the boss of me.
I'm the boss of you.
No, you're not. And we're just going to do this for like the next 15 minutes.
On Tuesdays and Saturdays, I'm the boss. And Thursdays, every other week. Anyway, Man of Steel, what were we talking about? Shut up, Shut up, floating ghost. Would you like a nap? Get out of here.
I'm the Anakin
Man of Steel
Skywalker.
2, rumors are there was rumors are flying that it was going to bring in Supergirl, that Brainiac was going to be the villain, all kinds of cool stuff that actually sounded really good. Now that has since been, I would say, debunked. They just said, no, that's not what we're going to do. That leads me to believe that's totally what they're going to do. Anyway, I hope so. The script sounded really cool. The idea sounded really, really great. But we will talk more about that later. Let us know what you guys think. If you'd love to see Brainiac as the villain and Supergirl brought into a Man of Steel sequel. And lastly, on the Wonder Woman news, it has been announced this week that Dark Horse and DC are going to do a crossover comic book series.
Was
with
this
Wonder
real?
Woman.
I thought it was an Onion article or something.
No, this is true. Wonder Woman and Conan are going to do a crossover comic. Apparently, Conan is going to be her long-lost brother. That's the tie-in.
Her long-lost brother?
Yes, and I think they only did that because DC's not going to let their best female superhero get, butt grabbed by Conan, and the only way to do that is if it's his sister.
I don't know. I mean, Sumerians are... I don't know if that would really even stop them, honestly.
You know what? Moving on. We will be reviewing it. It comes out in September, and sure, why not? DC's been crossing over with literally everything at this point, so we'll check it out.
Yeah, we'll see how many people it pisses off.
Probably a lot. Let's see here. Was there something you wanted to talk about, Ryan?
No, I'm good.
Speaking of people getting pissed off today and yesterday, Han Solo, we got some Star Wars news that they had literally lit the internet
Usually we lead with the Star Wars news.
on fire. I don't know, because my Wonder Woman cup. It was a nice segue.
That's true.
It was a good segue. It was a natural one, so we let that go. We just moved along until you brought it up and told everybody about it.
I guess we're not shooting it first, so...
Whatever. Anyway, well, fine.
I would have assumed, Brian, it would have gone... We would have gone with the Star Wars stuff first, shooting first with the hard Star Wars stuff.
Well, if you would have been in the production meeting, but no, you were hanging out with your mother-in-law, you decided to not show up for the production meeting, and this is what happened, Ryan.
Well, last time I showed up to a production meeting, you're all, hey, why are you not wearing pants?
Well, that's a different story, but you know what? I'm just reading the news the way Bob...
And then you showed this big, huge stack of all these HR complaints about all my lack of wearing pants, and...
It's not the pants, Ryan. It's the lack of wearing underwear that makes people crazy.
Well, you know what? Maybe Linda needs to shut her goddamn mouth.
Well, you keep asking her if you have gum in your shorts, or if she's seen this new exotic bird. It's nesting. No one wants to hear your jokes. They're terrible.
I don't know if I can continue in this hostile work environment.
I just want to read the news the way that Bob in scripting wrote them, okay? We pay Bob a lot of money to do his job, and you just every week
Bob
you try and
sits
you don't
around
show
on
up,
his ass.
And you get all mad, and then you don't want to read the news. I mean, we're going to have to fire Bob. Bob's got 3 kids. 3.
I don't care.
All going to be homeless because don't want to show up at production meetings because women get mad when you show them your junk. Not professional, dude.
I'll work on it.
Are you done? Can we move on now?
I'll stop drinking in the morning.
This is the real reason why Ryan doesn't have a video today is because he's been banned from video because he refused to put on pants again. Which would be fine if we shot from, if he didn't put his head down or his camera down and show us what was, working on. We don't want to see any of that.
It's been a long week, Brian.
Whatever. Speaking of long weeks, Disney's had a really long week because they had to fire Phil Lord and the other guy. Was it Miller?
Yeah, the other guy.
Chris
and then
Miller,
they hired,
I think. Is it Chris Miller? Yeah, Phil Lord and Chris Miller off the
They had
set
that other
of,
ginger
Han
director.
Solo. They literally sit in the Imperial Guard and drag those dudes off the Han Solo movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, honestly. I thought that's just how Lucasfilm does stuff.
You know, okay, so here's all jokes aside, this is kind of a big deal because they started shooting in January. This is not like a, hey, we haven't, like, you know, DC's lost a lot of directors, but they're still in, like, script phase. This is like the movie's been shot. And their vision of the movie is so off from what LucasArts wants to do, Lucasfilm wants to do, that they could not come to an understanding, and they had to fire them. And they've brought in Ron Howard, award-winning director Ron Howard, who's a great director, to finish the reshoots and put this movie together in a way that vibes with what Star Wars, what Lucas wants to do.
I want to know what they were doing that pissed off Lucas, because Lucas, I mean, Disney's been giving a lot of like first time like big budget people, you know, creative freedoms to do these Star Wars movies.
Well, these guys aren't really first time. I mean, they did 21 and 22 Jump Street and the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Huge hits. So the rumor is that, well, I just read an article, I think Variety was the one to break this, that basically, here's what happened. They brought those two in because they wanted Han Solo movie to be a very fun, kind of a wisecracking humor. They liked their style of movies, and they thought that would be really good for this character. Apparently, Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who wrote and directed Empire Strikes Back, this is his final movie. He's helped work on Episode 7. He's worked on a lot with Star Wars. And this is the last one. Well, apparently, everyone's saying this is the best script that's ever been turned in for a Star Wars movie, and they really love the direction of this. Well, apparently, as they were getting the dailies every day, Lord and Miller really were having people improvise a lot, to the point where, because that's kind of how you do comedy, but to the point where it was altering the plot and the story of the movie. And so they actually liked where it was going, so they were starting to take the story in a different direction than what Kathleen Kennedy and the story group wanted it to go. And apparently when they got into the editing phase, which is kind of what they are now, and they got the reshoots coming, they were completely, Miller and Lord were completely unwilling to bend at all. They wanted the movie that they believed that they were shooting, and Kathleen Kennedy said, no, this is what we want from you, and apparently it came to a head where the point where they had to be removed from the movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly.
You know, here's the hard part that I think Star Wars finds itself in a little bit. You know, they want to bring in people like Rian Johnson, who immediately came out and said, hey, I don't know what happened there. I have full creative control. And I'm sure he does to an extent, as long as his creative juices are flowing in the same direction as where the Star Wars story group wants it to go.
Oh,
but
yeah, they'll say, oh, yeah, you can have creative control. We're still going to fire you.
Yeah.
If you don't do what we like, but, you know, you can have creative control.
Apparently, this is what kind of happened with the Rogue One reshoots a little bit, is that Gareth Edwards had a really dark and somber movie that was really violent and didn't quite have the tone of Star Wars, and that's why they had to do so many reshoots to kind of liven it up a little bit, make it feel more like Star Wars. But like I said, this is the problem that Star Wars is going to have, right? Is that whenever you have a story that's interconnected, kind of like the same problem Marvel has, where they've had to let Edgar Wright go, they've had a hard time bringing in really super talented directors. I mean, I know they brought in Ryan Coogler to do Black Panther, which I'm really excited about, but I mean, other than that, I mean, Jon Favreau left. Joss Whedon had enough, and he left after Age of Ultron. I mean, they have a hard time keeping these creative guys, because when you say, listen, this is a story we're going to tell, and this is what you're going to do, you know, you get a lot of creative people, especially guys like Lord and Miller, who are young up-and-comers that are in demand. They're going to want to do their movie. So I have a feeling that Star Wars is going to, you know, Lucasfilms is going to have to make a decision. Are we going to go after the best, brightest directors, or are we going to go after people who are going to want to shoot the movies that we want them to shoot? And unfortunately, they may have to go the route that Marvel's done to an extent, and even with maybe Patty Jenkins, take some people who haven't done a lot and say, hey, do you want to make a superhero movie? Here's your chance, right?
Yeah, well, I think, like, the main problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but I think the main issue that the people that do Star Wars run into is that the directors are typically, like, gigantic fans of the franchise.
Yeah.
But they want to put their own perspective on it from their more adult and kind of, I think a lot of the directors they want to take the Star Wars like to a darker place.
Yeah.
Because
and these guys want to take it to a more comedic place. But
yeah.
Well, and to your point, they want to tell their own story, but I think the other problem that you run into, especially with this movie, it's a prequel. You cannot fundamentally alter the character of Han Solo because we all know who he is, right?
Yeah. You can't have him completing the run in 5 parsecs.
Well, you can't have him and Chewie like tripping each other in the hallways. I mean, it's just not who they are.
It's like, get up, Chewie. Stop falling down, Chewie.
I'm sure it'll never surface, but I would love to see. Oh, I froze for a second. Hang on a second.
No, you're frozen.
Yeah,
see,
for a second. I'll
see everybody, it's not my fault. Whatever. Brian's just a big asshole.
Skype the worst. Oh no! All right, there we go. But I think honestly, I think it's just. I think that these guys, I would have loved to see these guys get a property that didn't have like, hey, here's some characters in the Star Wars universe. Here, make a Jar Jar Binks movie. I'm sure it'd been great, right?
God, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But you know what I mean. It's just you have a story to tell. Unfortunately, these guys are gonna have to fit into a box. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of people talking that Kathleen Kennedy has lost complete control and she doesn't know what she's doing. I find all that complete bullshit. This woman, I believe, knows exactly what she's doing. She's made some of the best movies of our lives that we all love. And Rogue One was great. Even all the reshoots, people said, "Oh, this is a flaming pile of shit," and it turned out to be amazing. The Force Awakens was awesome. I have complete faith. From what we're hearing, The Last Jedi is great. I have complete faith in Kathleen Kennedy. I just think this, it sucks. I think these are 2 really talented directors that I think would have made a really fun Han Solo movie. So it's too bad they couldn't find a way to work it out. But anyway, Ron Howard, fantastic director. He's going to be taking over.
Yeah. Like I said, Ron Howard knows what he's doing. I'm sure he's in communication with the directors to kind of get like an idea of what they were trying to go for, and he'll make it as seamless as he can. Yeah. So I'm not too concerned.
Let's see. We got a couple quick things for you guys before we move on to our next thing here. Ryan Reynolds shared his first picture from the set of Deadpool 2. Just started shooting this last week. Not much there. Don't know if it's even something that'll make it into the movie. But it's Deadpool laying in front of the Charles Xavier mansion.
And he's like, and nobody's fucking home.
Yeah, that was the tagline. I thought it was pretty good. We are all super excited for Deadpool. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Something else we're all excited for is Stranger Things Season 2. Apparently, the people behind it have said that if you think the first season was scary and the villain was evil, Season 2 is going to make the Demogorgon from the first season look quaint, whatever that means.
What show?
Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things. Oh, God.
Only the best show ever.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it right before they bring in the second season back. There's some stuff that like gave me the creeps.
Oh, dude, that was a great show, man. I love that show. I'm really excited for the next season. Something else I'm really excited for is The Defenders. First season's coming up soon, and Kevin Feige's been talking a lot about Spider-Man and The Defenders and Marvel Universe and all the stuff. And one of the things that he dropped is that there is no plans right now for any of the Marvel TV series to cross over with the MCU, which is bullshit, Feige. You sold us on that it was all connected. It needs to be fucking connected. If nothing else, at least put like Luke Cage on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for an episode.
Yeah, they can. Why don't they cross over the show stuff? I mean, God, wouldn't it be so cool to have just like one of the Netflix guys on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Yeah. But I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they said something about New York. Oh yeah, they're fine or something like that. I can't remember, but
you now have ninjas, people with freaking fists that light up, people who dress up as devils, and bulletproof dudes running around. You don't think Coulson or somebody would have heard about it by now? Or not just that, how about Daisy? Daisy can literally level mountains with her power. You don't think the Avengers would be like, hey, who's this chick? Let's get her on our team. No, you got a guy that shoots arrows. Why do we need a woman with powers to level mountains? Who needs that?
Yeah, I think they're kind of doing... I mean, I understand how they're trying to keep it separate, but...
Well, and I understand logistically it's difficult, but come on, man, make it happen. So, whatever. Me and Ryan
There's
talked about
a bunch
this
of
at length.
ass.
It needs to happen. I think it's bullshit it didn't. But some other things that came out of Kevin Feige and Marvel recently is that apparently, actually I think this was Scarlett Johansson dropped this one. Apparently there's going to be like 60 or 70 characters in the Avengers Infinity War. In fact, in one fight scene alone, there's over 30 characters, Marvel characters fighting.
You know, I hope like in the theater they do like a quick pause so you can just try and just like, because I'm sure there's going to be like, you're going to have to wait until the DVD comes out or somebody took like a screen capture so you can be like, all right, so there's Dazzler.
Well, this is why you need Deadpool in the Marvel Universe, because in the MCU, because then he could do like a flip and pause and be like, all right, everyone, let's count 1, 2, and you can count everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I think they're banking on that for people to go see it multiple viewings, which of course we will. But obviously we're really excited. I think that comes out next year, so that'll be the big one for next year. We were very excited about. Something else we're also excited about: Spider-Man: Homecoming is coming out soon. A little bit of news also leaked with Kevin Feige was doing his rounds with Amy Pascal, the producer on Spider-Man. Apparently, she said Kevin Feige has come out multiple times. I think we talked about last week that Venom and the spin-off movies are not going to be part of the MCU. And then she came out and said, oh yeah, they're all connected. They're definitely going to be part of the MCU.
Which is fucking awesome.
So here's what it sounds like is going to happen. It's going to be part of the MCU in its own wing. So the thing that's going to connect them all is apparently Tom Holland. They want Tom Holland to show up in the Venom movie. And they want Tom Holland to be in these spin-off movies, right? As Spider-Man. So it sounds like Marvel and Sony are going to do Spider-Man movies together. And then Marvel's going to get Spider-Man to be in Avengers movies. But then Sony's also going to get Spider-Man to be in their Spider-Man universe with their Venom movies and their other movies. So, yeah, why not? I'll take it. Sounds great.
Be a buttload of Spider. I mean, superhero movies, I don't know if it's even close to reaching the saturation point. I mean...
Well, I think as long as they keep weaving this tapestry where it is all connected and it tells great stories, I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah, we're basically just getting the comic books in movie form. I mean, that's all it is right now.
Well, that's why it was so important for Wonder Woman to do well, because DC has a totally different type of heroes than Marvel, right? And you saw it when you saw Wonder Woman. Have you seen Wonder Woman yet?
I'm going now that my mother-in-law can watch the kids. We're going.
All right, well, we promise next week we will do our official Geek Dad Report review of Wonder Woman next week on the show.
Whatever.
But when you see it, you'll notice it. It's a lot. It's a different movie. It's really good. And honestly, the Venom movie that's coming out it's going to be much more of a horror movie than it's going to be like a happy movie.
I'm down for an R-rated horror movie with Venom in it.
Well, here's the kicker, Ryan. You may not be that far off. Apparently, it's also been announced that the villain in the Venom movie is going to be Carnage. And anybody who does not know what Carnage is a red, he's a symbiote. So part of his symbiote broke off when Spider-Man and Venom were fighting, and they crashed into a prison. A piece of Venom suit broke off and went on to Cassius. Oh, God. I can't remember. I'm going to butcher his name. I totally forgot it. I'll remember next time. But anyway, one of the worst criminals ever, murderer, sadist, just horrible person, jumps onto him. His symbiote turns red for just blood rage, and he's like way leaner and skinnier, and he is freaking vicious. And one of the most like craziest, insane, violent series I've ever read is called Maximum Carnage. If you have not read it, read it. It is one of Spider-Man's like most unbelievable stories. It has Venom in it. It has Carnage. Basically, at one part, Carnage and his little lackeys go down Broadway and murder everyone they see.
Yeah. I'm definitely hoping for a giant murder movie.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it would be. So, Sony, I swear, if you make that movie happen, a hard R, Maximum Carnage, you could even use, I would like to see Spider-Man in it, but if you can't use Spider-Man because of whatever, they don't want to put him in a rated R movie, if you put Venom in that role instead, but still make it rated R, I may forgive you for Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Definitely that one.
Yeah, anyway. All right, so last couple things we got a couple quick news. Apparently Atari is going to be making a new console.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's better than Pong.
It's probably just the old Atari, and it's going to have, like...
it's going to be an Atari Mini that has all the classic games.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Fox, still being Fox, apparently has there's rumors that they're going to reboot Fantastic Four, but it's going to be a kids movie.
Yeah, they're going with the two kids from God. Why I cannot think of their names?
I don't know. All I know is these are Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic's kids in the comic books. Apparently, they're going to use.
Looks.
I don't know. Whatever.
That sounds dumb.
Who cares?
Why are they still trying? That's what I want to know. Why?
Whatever. We're not going to give Fox time of day here. Daniel Day-Lewis has quit acting. I guess we're never going to get Last of the Mohicans 2. I was really waiting for it.
Yeah, I was hoping for my right foot.
Let's see. Damon Lindelof, whatever. The asshole behind Lost. But he did write The Leftovers. So I'm going to get started. I think he may...
God, I keep wanting to start watching that.
I have one episode left, and I'm going to watch it when we get off the show tonight. The series finale, into season 2 and 3 have been really good, but I don't know. I think I'm going to forgive him for Lost. I'm still a little angry. I'm not happy about Prometheus, but apparently he's doing a show right now for HBO. You might have heard it. It's called The Watchman. It's going to be an HBO spinoff series. So if he does that right, hey, I'm in. I'm back on the Damon Lindelof train.
Yeah.
Toot, toot. Let's see. Mask of the Phantasm is getting released on Blu-ray. If you've never seen that movie, shame on you. It is the best Batman movie ever released in theaters. I stand by that. And it's coming to Blu-ray finally. And it's going to be remastered in 16.9, so widescreen. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Triple X4 is happening. Who cares? Vin Diesel's just raking in money.
Yeah. Still no Riddick 3.
Nope. Asshole. God. Riddick. I need more Riddick. Star Trek Discovery officially has an air date of September 24th. They're going to show for the premiere episode for free, and then you have to buy their stupid CBS All Access to get the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, so you can watch all of your favorite episodes of something.
Yeah, even though I pay a shit ton of money for my cable package, I don't get this show. But guess what? Apparently, if you live outside the U.S., you get it through Netflix.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, it's going to air everywhere else but America on Netflix. So guess who is going to go on one of those little websites and get one of those fake IP addresses so that way it logs in that says I'm in Canada? Yeah.
Fucking assholes.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, if you plan on watching Star Trek, let us know because we're not going to watch it. And then finally, let's see, a couple trailers. There's one more Spider-Man. Apparently Kevin Feige, a little last bit of Spider-Man news, which I think is kind of cool. Apparently a lot of people wondered how he got Sony to give him Spider-Man. Apparently he walked into Amy Pascal's office and said, listen, we're going to make a lot of money. You're going to make a lot of money. Let's share them. And they said, that makes sense. Let's do it. That was easy.
And then they got drunk.
Yeah, and then they got drunk and partied. Also, Spider-Man, apparently, there's going to be a different MCU superhero in every Spider-Man movie. So this time we have Iron Man. Next time, who knows? Could be Captain America or somebody else. But right now, that's the plan. Jurassic World Part 2 now has an official title. It's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Apparently they're going to be returning to the first island that Jurassic Park was in. Whatever.
And as Jeff posted, as long as they find the Barbasol, they'll be fine.
I don't care. It's Chris Pratt, dinosaurs, and all the fun stuff. And then lastly, we had... so apparently The Dark Tower is coming out in August. There's been some speculation what books this movie is going to adapt or is it going to be something else? Well, apparently Stephen King has come out and said this is not going to be an adaptation. This is a direct sequel to the books. So I'm actually really excited about this. I want to read the books now.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of scared having to read all the books because I didn't want to have to do that much reading before the show started or the first movie.
I think it's always great when you can have a separate property. Usually when somebody tries to adapt that many books into a movie or a series of movies, it never works right. So it's cool is you're going to get a new story, right? So you can enjoy the books for what they are, and now you get something different.
Yeah, and it makes so I can take my time reading the books. Yeah, exactly. Which I appreciate.
Well, I feel like I'm going to watch this movie and I'm going to be like, oh, I really want to know what happened before this now. And now you can just kind of go enjoy it instead of, I don't know why more things don't take this approach. Instead of adapting a huge material, try and do a sequel or even a prequel. Something we haven't seen yet. And then lastly, a couple new trailers dropped this week. I won't spend too much time on the first one. I would check it out. It's called American Assassin. It's got Michael Keaton and, I don't know, the dude who was in The Maze Runner. But it looks pretty badass. If you like John Wick or the accountant type movies, which we'll talk about next week on Crap or Craptastic. Check it out. Trailer looks great. I wanna see the movie. And then lastly, HBO draft. Our last little bit of news. HBO dropped a trailer for a certain series that's coming back. I don't know, July 16th. At 9 p.m. Who's counting?
Nobody really cares.
It's only like 15 days away.
Just some silly show. There's some like cold people.
I'll give you a hint. I butchered the theme song. It's fucking Game of Thrones. It looks amazing. Yeah. The trailer literally almost made me crash today as I was not driving when watching it.
It's got dudes with flaming swords, dragons.
With flaming swords.
Sansa's all like, all the Starks are going to die.
And I've got a flaming sword. They all have flaming swords. This trailer should be called Flaming Sword trailer.
And
I just saw a flaming sword.
It seemed like Dany's going back to Dragonstone, which is her ancestral home.
All right, listen, Ryan, if you want to get out of here in an hour, we're not going to break down the trailer. All we're going to say is,
fine.
It looks awesome. Hey, I'll break it down. You're the one who's on East Coast time.
No, let's go.
It looks amazing. Check it out. Tell us what you think. Show comes back in about 3.5, 4 weeks. We are really excited. Check it out. Let us know what you think. And that's all we got. Ninja News. So let's see. What are we doing next? You want to talk about American Gods or you want to do
yes,
50?
Let's do American Gods.
All right. So this week, the series finale. Well, not series. Like a season 1 finale of American Gods.
Season.
It better not be the
Definitely
series finale.
not the series finale. The book was not that short.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was 8 episodes. It was 8 episodes' first initial run, and like I said, in this last Sunday. And me and Ryan are going to talk about it. Ryan has not seen the series. He's watched a couple episodes. He did watch the finale, so we can talk about it. But he has read the book, so we're going to pick his brain a little bit about it. Obviously, if you have not watched American Gods, we are going to. This is full spoilers. If you don't care, obviously hang on. If not, you can jump forward about 5 minutes. But we're going to be talking about American Gods season 1 and the season finale. So you've been warned. Anyway, dude, this show has been fucking awesome. That season finale was great.
I like the. I was wondering how they're going to do when because there would be like a really quick chapter on like like how one of the gods came to America, and there has been some that they didn't do in the book. Jesus is not in the book at all.
Oh, really? That's too bad. Cause he's not. Great. He's like it's perfect the way they do him on the show too. I like how they have like 19 different Jesuses.
Well, it's like you said. They pray and they picture him in their head, and they got a different Jesus.
Yeah, that's been great. My wife has actually watched the show with me. We both joke and we play kind of a drinking game. Every time you see a penis, it's a shot, right? Because
oh my God,
this show has more penis than I've ever seen in any show in my entire life. This is
the opposite of Game of Thrones. You are not going to be seeing a lot of boobies. You're going to be seeing
giant penises, like full-on boners.
And dudes having sex with other dudes.
Did you see the episode where the guy got sucked into the goddess of love's vagina and he was floating in like vagina space with a giant boner?
Dude, I've seen all of the episodes.
You have? I thought you didn't. I thought you hadn't watched them.
No, I watched all of them.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You were just too busy, thinking about something else.
That's probably true. So is there this many boners in the book? That's what I want to know.
No.
So how far into the book is season 1?
Okay, so here's the thing. The first 3 episodes are fairly faithful to the book. Episodes 4, 5, 6, where they're doing a lot about Laura and Sweeney.
Side note, Sweeney is one of my favorite characters. His episode was amazing.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about.
Laura actually only shows up in the book like twice, 3 times maybe.
Okay, so they're really going out on a limb with the show.
Matt Sweeney, they probably they do his introduction, like how he came to America, and then he's in the book in like a couple more scenes, but not really. The guy that gets fucked by the djinn, after that story, he's never in the books ever again.
Can I just say that whole scene was not unnecessary? Like, hey, I've seen lots of gay love, on TV before, but
that was fucked. I felt weird watching that.
Why they needed to show like the Jin's testicles light
my...
on fire and then shoot his Jin man love up into the dude's fucking colon was like, oh.
So I was watching on my phones, sitting next to my wife on the couch. So I was like, hey, I'm just trying to get through the show. And she said, oh, it's fine. And I started like turning the phone like more and more like away from her so she couldn't see what I was watching, just so she wouldn't be like, why are you watching some dude shoot fire into some other dude?
I know. Why are you watching some man-on-man love, man? I mean, yeah, it was definitely, it was a little awkward. I mean, to definitely say the least. Yes. But hey, whatever. What do you do?
But essentially, from episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, like from episodes 4 on, they do have some elements of the book, but they are really stretching out stuff and adding a lot of stuff.
Well, you have to figure they have to. It's one book they're trying to stretch into, 3 or 4 seasons. Yeah.
So by like technicalities, they're probably like around 25%, maybe.
So I got a question. How long did it take you in the book, reading the book, to figure out that Odin was Mr. Wednesday?
The second that they started talking about how he had a glass eye.
Oh, okay. So they don't talk about that on the TV show. But you can tell he's got a different eye.
Yeah, because in the book he's got a glass eye.
Well, I figured.
And I was like, that's fucking Odin.
Well, I figured pretty early on, because number one, you have the ravens that were flying around, and also too, it helps that I've seen Vikings as much as I have. But the very opening Coming to America scene was the god, right? And it was Odin, and they never really they showed it, but they never really showed the guy, so I was like, oh, this is Odin's story.
Well, that's how the book starts, too.
Oh, so. Okay. But yeah, the show visually, man, I love the visuals they have in this show. I think it's definitely different. It's not a normal type of show, but I think it's really, you watch it, and there's just some great performances, and some of the dialogue is amazing, but just the character-driven story I really enjoy it. And I like a lot of the correlations they make to atheism and gods and the new gods, and how I love in the last episode how they were talking about how in a world of atheism, if we don't find new ways to make people believe in us, then we're all going to go away, right? So in a lot of ways, all the old and the new gods are just all in survival mode. But you got the old gods saying, well, if they don't believe in us, we'll just fucking send a famine and they will believe in us, where the new gods are like, that's not how it works anymore.
Yeah, well, and look at Easter. She literally, nobody associates anything with her other than a name.
Yeah.
And they do like some of the small things that were her rituals, like the finding the eggs and stuff like that. But on the show, even she has the problem where she said, well, this is his day. I mean, our day. And, but because she's still, she's just basically leeching off, which that whole scene doesn't happen in the book at all.
Well, yeah, because it said Jesus is in the book, which I think is, it should. That's too bad. I think sometimes this is the cool thing about retellings of this, is I'm pretty sure if you got to Neil Gaiman, he'd probably be like, you know what, I should have put that in the book. That's a great idea.
Well, it's in the epilogue at the very end. Like, he's like, so, just so people know, like, yes, I did write a chapter with Jesus in it. It's like, it's what's more American, than Jesus. So it had Shadow reading Jesus, but it was only like one Jesus, and it was like at his house and stuff like that. Well, he's like super fucking like dope rich, basically.
Yeah, well, even because Odin, remember Odin when he first mentioned Jesus? He's like, yeah, he goes, that prick's doing all right for himself in America.
So,
but, I don't know. I love lot of
Which Jesus did you like the most? Did you like Jesus with the big glowing halo thing?
Yeah, I like the Jesus from Justified. Cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of creepy to have like crucifixion Jesus where the jelly beans kept falling through his hands.
Yeah.
But
God, I forgot about that.
I just love how this is a show that makes you think, because there's a lot of deeper meaning behind each and everything that they do, right? And it's just, and not just that, it means other things. I can understand how this book was a lot about immigration and stuff like that, because in a lot of ways that's what the story is. It's a really good story. If you guys haven't seen it yet and you've decided to watch our talk about it, I recommend you guys check it out. It's really good. It's definitely different. There's some, like me and Ryan were talking about, there's definitely some scenes that make you a little uncomfortable from time to time. but the acting's really good. And it does the one thing that you want from a show. It leaves you wanting more. Like when the season ends, you're like, okay, I can't wait to see what happens next, right?
Yeah, and if you're a very religious person, I think you should still give the show a chance.
Be offended.
It's not going to. Oh, I don't know. I can't say it's not going to offend people, but someone is going to.
Listen. A lot of Christians believe if you believe in or talk about any other gods besides God and Jesus, then you're blaspheming. So this may not be the show for you. But I don't think it. To Ryan's point, I don't think it makes fun of any different religions. It just presents things as they are.
They're just presenting it how the story. It seems like it's in a logical way. It's like how they're trying to present the different gods and stuff like that. And
no, definitely, I agree with that.
I always like Mr. Nancy. He's one of my favorites.
Dude,
he loves to tell the story. His story is great.
Dude, his story on the slave boat, that speech he gave,
that was crazy.
I literally you ever have those moments where you watch something that's really powerful, you almost kind of forget to breathe,
Yeah.
Dude, it got me so caught up in what he was saying. That was one of the most powerful things I've seen on a television show.
God, what's his name? Orlando
Jones.
God, he fucking killed it.
Dude,
killed it.
For those of you who haven't seen the show or have seen, it's basically it's the very first slaver ship coming to America, and Orlando Jones plays Mr. Nancy. He's one of the African gods. He's like a spider, and so basically he just lays it out for them. They're like, "Give me hope," and he's like, "There's no hope for the next 400 years. You're just gonna get fucked, right?"
Yeah, and then 100 years after you're not slaves anymore, you're still fucked.
They give you rights,
and 100 years after that, you're still fucked. And he's wearing like a suit. That's kind of that's like his character's thing. He always wears these really nice.
And
custom-made suits.
I've never heard the plight of American slaves and in the history here. I've never heard it quite from that perspective. And when you put it in that perspective, it's really powerful. You're just Jesus Christ, right? And it's just. Yeah. But watch the show.
He's angry now.
Yeah, dude. He's like, you'd be best to just break your chains and go kill everybody there and burn yourself.
Kill all those Dutch motherfuckers. Well, what are we going to do? It's well, then you can sacrifice yourself, because that's all the gods really want. They just want that sacrifice.
Want somebody to sacrifice themselves. I'm still trying to figure out what Shadow Moon
is. There's no subtle hints about sacrifices throughout the show.
Yeah, I feel like Shadow Moon is supposed to be a sacrifice. Now, obviously, don't tell me, but anyway, I'm totally.
It's so good.
My only problem that I had with this, and I kind of figured this could happen because it's based on a book that tells one complete story. I had a feeling that our season finales were going to feel a little. It's a really good episode, but it feels like there should be another episode this week. It doesn't feel like see you in a year,
Yeah. Well, the book it's about Shadow. I mean, that's what the book is. The book is mainly about Shadow, and his journey through all the stuff that Mr. Wednesday is putting him through.
Okay.
Gotcha. That's why if the first 3 episodes stick pretty good to the book, and then from then on, you can see they were like, oh shit, we gotta start stretching this shit out because we're gonna run through the book really fast, and so they started adding all the lore stuff and tweeting, and which I don't mind. I mean, I think she does it. She's a good actress.
No, I'm really like I said, I don't feel like the story feels like it's a
fluid.
Yeah, thank you. It's a very fluid story. It doesn't feel like anything's been tacked on for the show. I like it a lot. I would say I totally recommend it. I think season 1, I give it a strong. I'm going to give the show an A+. Well, maybe not plus, but a solid A. I think it's a great show. I think everybody should check it out, and it's on Stars right now. What do you think, Ryan? What's your verdict for season 1?
I'm going to give it I give it an 8 out of 10, only just because it does veer off in the book, and I think that there are a couple episodes where they're very obviously character-filling episodes.
Oh, so. There's the Ryan. There's the Ryan we know and love, old book snob Ryan. You know what? I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it's not as good as the book.
It's not.
Buffy, bring me my slippers.
Yes. And other than that, I think that you should watch it and punch Brian in the dick next time you see him.
Whatever. Why do you gotta bring up dick? Because we're talking about giant erect dicks? Is that what's going on here? All right, moving on. All right, from the Faithful 50, we got a couple questions. We'll make it quick so Ryan can go to sleep because I know it's late over there. First up, we got Jeff, Faithful 50 member Jeff, always loyal, always there, always ready to give us some things to answer. He would like to know,
we love you,
quick
Jeff.
one, he wants to know one good pick. He wants us each to give our one good suggestion for Supergirl in the DCEU. So I'm guessing he wants to know an actress.
Oh, we can't pick the one from CW. What's her name?
Because I would get Grant Gustin to play Flash, so we can't do that. We'll tell you what. While you're thinking about it, I got a couple picks. I saw this earlier, and I was thinking about it. I personally would really like. There's a couple actresses from the 100 that I think the 100 that I think would make really good Supergirls. The main lead, Clark. I think she would make a good Supergirl. I like her a lot. She's a little busty for Supergirl. I mean, I don't really care. She'd probably be a better Power Girl in that, but I know some people would probably be like, oh, what's this? I think she's a really good actress. She's blonde. She's Australian. I think she looks a lot like Supergirl, and I think she'd make a really good Supergirl. Another actress in there, I don't know her name. Forgive me if you sorry, look it up on IMBD. But the girl who plays Raven in there too. Now she's a darker complexion. She's got black hair. She's kind of got that nice year-round tan, kind of olive skin. I know that would veer from Supergirl, but I think this is one character. I don't think you have to make her blonde and super white. I think this is a character. She's an alien from Krypton. I think if you wanted to inject a little ethnicity into a character, I think you could do that with this character. You could make her. You don't have to make her blonde and blue-eyed, but I think she looks like Supergirl. I think she'd make a great Supergirl. And another girl that I really do like a lot, I think she's a little too old to play Supergirl, is I forget her name, but the girl Sharon Carter from Captain America, his blonde girlfriend that he likes.
Oh, God, what is her name?
I know, I cannot remember any of these actresses' names. I should have taken notes. Bob from fucking script writing didn't write their names down. You want your kids to be homeless, Bob? I suggest you get your shit together.
So I really like Melissa Benoist. I really like her as Supergirl. I can't really. I'm having a hard time picturing someone else as Supergirl just because.
My problem is I don't watch a lot of shows that feature like 11-year-old girls, so Supergirl's.
I know I'm sitting there thinking like, who's a young female actress that I can think of that doesn't sound creepy to have been watching all these things.
So I was watching like Elle Interrupted with my daughter on Disney XD, and because I think in the comics she's like late teens. So I mean, you could probably get an early 20s actress to play her, but I don't know. I mean, those are just. I'd say somebody off the 100, they have literally, or somebody off the CW at least, they've like cornered the market on young, attractive, tweens.
Good shows with great storylines.
Yeah, great shows with great storylines. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like both those actresses from the 100, and I think they would do really good as Supergirl.
I'm going to say Melissa Benoist or something. Whatever how you say it.
That's such a cop-out. All right, whatever.
It is. That's all I can think of.
All right,
she's my Supergirl.
But I actually, you know what I would like to say? I would like to see them go with an unknown actress for Supergirl. I think this is an opportunity where you could bring somebody in who's not well known, or like I said, maybe a up and coming actress of some diversity. You can inject some diversity into our comics. This would be a perfect opportunity to do that, I think.
Yeah. Maybe, possibly.
What do you think? I mean, I think the internet would melt on fire if you cast somebody who wasn't blonde hair and blue eye to play Supergirl, but I think you could do it.
Get like a black girl or something to do it.
I don't know. I mean,
there weren't all white people on Krypton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You could do it. I think because it is Clark's blood relative. I don't know if you could go like,
Well, are they all clones essentially? Like they're all just from like the same DNA pool.
Well, it depends on which way they do the story. So obviously in Man of Steel, they said they're all basically like they don't have natural birth. So I guess you could technically have anyone do it. I think if you went with their actual storyline where she's his like blood cousin, I mean it's not that they couldn't have she couldn't be black, but I don't know. that might be like, hey, I'm your cousin. Wait a minute.
I'm your other cousin.
I meant more some of the lines. If you went with someone mixed or even darker complexion, I think that would. I don't think. I mean, people are going to be mad regardless because the internet hates any change whatsoever. But
people were freaking out about Gal Gadot being cast for Wonder Woman.
Well, there was a whole controversy because she's Israeli, so she's technically a minority, and she's Middle Eastern, so she's not white. She's not considered Caucasian. So somebody had said something, a person of color, and people lost their mind. They're like, she's not colored, she's white. And I was like, well, I guess technically, I mean, I don't know, whatever. Anytime you get into talk of race or diversity, people lose their shit. But I just personally think, we've talked a lot about it. I think there's always opportunities for more diversity in our movies and comic books. And I think, as much as I don't like them saying, tell you what, we're getting rid of Thor, now you get a black female Thor. Well, that's not really, that's kind of forced. It feels forced sometimes. I think this would be a perfect opportunity to introduce somebody of color and not make it, and it works perfectly fine for the story.
Yeah. And you say, oh, it's not his cousin, it's his neighbor, Jan.
His neighbor, Jan. Or you could just, it's Krypton. So to your point, I don't think it really matters. But I think, anyway, but if you're going to go with blonde hair, blue eyes, also Teresa Palmer. I like her a lot too. She's a good actress. And she's blonde and blue eyed. And she'd look good as Supergirl.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, moving on. Lastly, Phil wanted to know, in light of all the critics. Oh, this is funny. we have a foundation for this question. Phil wants to know, in the light of all the critics trashing the new Transformers movie, does anybody really go to a Micheal Bay film expecting an Oscar-worthy film or even a plot that doesn't have 1,000 loopholes? It's like they were expecting Citizen Kane to have a film about alien robots from a 1984 cartoon. Well, Phil, that's called perspective, and most critics don't have it.
Yeah, that is pretty on point. I don't think I've ever gone to a Micheal Bay film like, oh my god, I can't wait for the cinematography in this.
If you go, listen, I go to Micheal Bay, like I saw his 13 Hours. It was a good movie. It's a really good movie. I think some critics just hate certain directors. Zack Snyder is never going to win critics over. Micheal Bay is never going to win critics over. There is just some people that critics just hate. For whatever reason. Don't know. Did you know Robin Williams had almost all his movies were reviewed poorly by critics? And he's one of the...
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, Hook got like a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Yes. And that's Spielberg. I mean, and on the flip side, they almost always give Spielberg good reviews, and a lot of his movies aren't even that good anymore. So, to your point, Phil, yes.
So this is why there's so many directors and actors that are in the special...
Yeah, and fuckcritics.com because they just are getting... They need rehab. They need rehab from the fucking of critics. I mean, it's just... Here's the thing. This is why we do Crap or Craptastic, honestly, because there's so many good movies that are bad movies, but they're entertaining. Me and Ryan have one criteria. Was the movie entertaining? Right? And then from that point is where we break down everything else.
Yeah. If you walked out of that movie feeling like you lost all your money, then yeah, I can understand that. But come on, there hasn't been a movie in a long time where like, I want my money back.
I got my money back at Leonardo DiCaprio's The Beach, and I really like Leo, but that movie was fucking terrible. It was so boring, and it was the dumbest shit I've ever seen, and I was like, I want my money back. There are lots of critically acclaimed movies that are out there for people. You know what? To your point, Phil, yeah, if you're going to go see Transformers, I'm going to go see it. I know it's stupid. I know it's going to be dumb. I know it's going to be a Micheal Bay movie. Not to say Micheal Bay can't make good movies, but Transformers is not one of them. Not one of the Transformers movies have ever been considered a good movie. They're all terrible.
Yeah, he makes a movie that has explosions and robots and...
slow motion butt scenes?
Yeah, and what more do the audience really ask?
And not just girl butt scenes, so don't call me sexist. There will be at least no less than 4 slow motion butt shots of Mark Wahlberg and Josh Duhamel, and at least 7 glistening biceps. They're all going to be wearing shirts way too small. Oh, trust me, my wife is all excited to go see a new Transformers movie.
Yeah, but who goes into, I want to see a sophisticated Transformers movie. Nobody wants an Oscar-worthy Transformers movie. That's not That's not what people want from Transformers.
No. Listen, I eat ice cream not because it's healthy. Like, don't tell me, like, ice cream is the least healthy food. No shit. It's terrible. I know when I sit down and eat that entire gallon of ice cream that it's going to make me gassy and I'm going to just feel like crap, but I don't care because it's delicious and I'm going to fucking eat it. That's what I think of a Transformers movie. You know what else? Think of it this way. You know what? Every time you have sex, it can't always be good. But you know what? Like, when you're gonna have real drunk sex and you go in and you're like, you and your lady are just wasted drunk, like just wasted, you know it's not gonna be great. You know shit's not gonna work right. You know it's gonna take a lot of effort, but you don't care and you are fucking excited when you go in that room. And that is a Transformers movie right there. Transformers movies are like drunk sex. They're amazing and terrible at the same time, but you wouldn't not do it.
I have not had that experience.
Put that on a poster, Paramount.
Yeah. Transformers. It's like drunk sex.
It's amazing, terrible, but you're definitely not going to not do it. But yeah, I don't know. I think critics have, all joking aside, I think critics have forgotten how to have fun. These movies are bad. I think, well, you know what? If more people watch the Geek Dad Report, we can get a national stage, and we can be the voice for the voiceless. We can be the voice for the Tom Cruise box office flops. And we can tell you whether the movie's actually fun or not. Something Rotten Tomatoes cannot do.
Rotten Tomatoes should be calling us and just asking what score we should put up on there as the final score, and we'll just tell them.
And it could be like Rotten Tomatoes, and our segment could be called Oars and an Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, and that's us. How do you like those apples? Trademarked. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's get out of here. Lastly but not least, recommendations. Ryan, did you have anything you wanted to recommend over your magical force voice, or should I just recommend it? We can
I don't have any recommendation. I have not done any. Oh, you know what? I started reading. My son wanted to get a new comic book, so we started reading it together. It's called. It's a show on Netflix called The Deep. It's about like a family of like ocean explorers. It's an animated show. So we got the comic book for him. It's actually fairly enjoying it. I watched the show and stuff with him because he wanted me to watch it with him. So if you have a young kid who wants to read comic books, it's from Boom Studios, Kaboom imprint, the kids one. Just The Deep. It's got ocean exploration and submarines and submarine pirates, and they're trying to find Lost City and stuff of Atlantis. It's a good, fun little comic. So
just don't Google. Just
The Deep. Yeah, don't Google it. Yes.
All right, so cool. Just
that's
The Deep.
my
Check it out.
recommendation.
Kaboom Studios. Ryan says it's fantastic.
It
That
goes
on a billboard. All right, my recommendation this week: surprise, Beauty and the Beast, the live-action movie from Disney. Fucking adorable movie. I watched it. I wasn't sure I was going to like it because I've heard it's exactly like the cartoon, and it actually is. There's an extra half-hour footage in here that wasn't in the original cartoon, but I can't really figure out where it is because it seems just like
It was one of the Beast scenes. It was one of the Beast scenes.
Well, I knew that he has his own song that he sings along, but it has all the great. Unlike Jungle Book, this actually has all the great songs from the cartoon all resung. My only thing I will say is these movies are a lot creepier when they're live action. Can I just say that?
Yeah, well, what's next? I think they're doing The Princess and the Frog next.
Well, yeah, they got the Aladdin, Princess and the Frog. No, what are they doing? They're doing them all. Literally doing them. I think they're doing Dumbo too. I will say at the very end, they almost kind of jokingly talk about the fact that she's into dogs. Because like at the very end of the movie, when he turns back into the prince, she's like, how do you feel about growing a beard? And he's like, hey. I'm like, ugh. She wants the man-dog-beast thing with the giant 3-foot beast boner. But other than that creepiness of some weird bestiality vibes going on, adorable movie, totally recommended for the kids. Anyway,
how many times have your kids watched the Lego Batman movie?
A lot. I've got that. We're taking a camping with us this week.
My kids have literally been quoting it every single day.
Chuck's favorite line from that movie is how come there's only one seat? Well, because I only have one butt. She thinks it's the funniest thing ever. But anyway, all right, check it out, Beauty and the Beast. You can now get it on Blu-ray, digital, and Divid. Comes in one packet, $24.99. And yes, Jeff, you are cool because we both say Divid. Apparently, Jeff says Divid like I do. He either copied me or we just.
You're the only two people on the planet that say I just kind of never said anything because I always felt bad for you because like, oh god, he just doesn't know how to say words anymore. But I guess you and Jeff are both,
Yeah, we're like for planet super cool. If you wanna invite to that planet, you better fucking get down with it, dude.
Get your Divid.
Don't get that copy. I just threw it out. It's broken. All right, well, let's get out of here, man. Let you go to bed. You want to let everyone know where they can find us?
You can find us on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, Twitter at the Geek Dad Report. Brian is Brian West 53, and I am Big Bruiser. We are on YouTube, Podhell, and you can find us on iTunes. So please like, subscribe, leave comments, share with your friends. If we do something funny, say ha ha.
Yeah,
that's all you need to say. We'll take that. We made someone laugh. That's so great.
I would like to give a special shout out. We got a couple new subscribers this week. A lot of times you guys have your settings to private, so I don't see who subscribes. But we did get a new subscriber who didn't have his stuff set to private. Cruella Entertainment. Thank you very much for subscribing. They hopped on, watched a bunch of videos, and have been interacting with us all week. So we appreciate you guys, and thanks for subscribing.
Very much appreciated.
We love the feedback. Hopefully you like what we do. Continue to like it.
I hope you like floating Ryan voice. And we'll be back full force next week.
We'll get Ryan 2 hamsters on his Wi-Fi instead of 1. But anyway, that's about it, man. You got anything else?
I need to go to bed.
All right, guys. On that note, stay awesome, motherfuckers. We'll see you guys same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Adios.